Hey there guys, welcome to BackPocketGameReviews. I know, it's like you guys just saw me or something. But, we're going to talk about PlayStation. So, I know some of you are going to probably try to find me in the streets. Remember, I do have my concealed carry before you actually take that all out of context here. But, I think Sony's going to have the worst E3. I know some of you are back there with pitchforks and torches in hand saying, you're just an Xbox fanboy, you don't know any better, what are you talking about? Did you drink some of the Microsoft Kool-Aid? If they probably had Kool-Aid, I probably would have drank it. But I don't really think Sony is going to put up the E3 that they have. So Sony has had some of the biggest exclusives announced over the last couple of E3s. Obviously, we already know we're getting Spider-Man this year. And it takes, to really hype your audience at E3, it takes things you don't know about. And unfortunately, I feel like Sony's kind of already shown all of the cards in their hand. And then we also had Sony's CEO give us the whole report that next year is going to be their worst year financially. Like, they're predicting PlayStation is going to have its worst year this entire console generation. So that typically means they're not going to have these big exclusive titles coming to the table to typically draw in new customers. Now, a lot of that's speculated because they have a new console on the horizon. A lot of times, the last year of your console is typically one of the slower ones, at least from first-party games. Now, I'm not saying that means Sony's going to have a terrible E3 showing. Obviously, they have The Last of Us Part 2 coming, and The Last of Us is easily one of the biggest exclusives. But we already know about it. Again, to get that surprise, to get that wow factor, you have to really sweep them off their feet. Alright? This is like Julia Roberts as a prostitute in Pretty Woman. You got to be able to sweep them off their feet. So, I don't foresee them showing off that much that we just haven't already heard about. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to have new games. I'm going to give you the things that I'm hoping for Sony to show off, and we're going to leave this as a hoping. I'm not going to use these as predictions. Like Bethesda, I feel like those are things that could happen. These are my guesses. I could be terribly wrong because I have absolutely no evidence to back this up. I personally think that Sony's going to have a Killzone game. A sequel to Killzone. Shadowfall. You know, Shadowfall came out on the PlayStation 4, and it's the only Killzone game to have come out on the PlayStation 4, and it's really Sony's only exclusive multiplayer game, and it didn't do very well this console generation. Killzone 4 was kind of a failure compared to Killzone 3, or Killzone Shadowfall. I don't know why I want to call it 4 constantly, but Shadowfall was kind of just wasn't as good as what 3 was. 3 actually was pretty decent. It got a lot of hype. The online was pretty active. Shadowfall just was meh. So I think that they're going to reboot that series. Reboot might not exactly be the correct name, but I believe there's going to be another entry. I would like to see another entry in the Order 1886. I understand a lot of you are like, oh, that game was rubbish. I paid $60, and that game was only like 7 hours long. That was a little longer for me because I like to explore and I take in the world around me, and I sometimes just get easily entertained by, ooh, shiny object over here, because I have really bad ADHD. So, I would like to see a sequel to that game because I really enjoyed the story to the game. I thought the story was amazingly well crafted. It had some lure that I felt could go even deeper than what they did, and the length of a game shouldn't be what we base the actual game off of. I will never ding a game for being short if they are able to keep me interested in the story. I'd rather you make your game 6 hours long than to sit there and make it into 18 hours long and drag things out just because you know people wanted a longer story. Make it a good story. That's all that matters in that situation. It's not like that game had multiplayer. Just a good story. That's all you need. It's like Assassin's Creed. No one plays Assassin's Creed for the multiplayer. I'm not saying you don't play the multiplayer, but none of you exclusively picked up Assassin's Creed for the multiplayer. So, again, I don't think Sony is going to have this huge showing. Maybe you'll get a little big Planet 3, but none of the stuff is going to be system sellers. That's my guess. They already gave you the straightforward, next year is going to be our worst year. I mean, I feel like they gave you a preemptive warning going into this E3. Guys, let me know in the comments down below. You can tell me how much of a fanboy I am, or how wrong I am, or ride your Sony pony all through those comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you really hated it, you can give it a thumbs down too. They all help me either way. A thumb is the thumb. You don't have to chop it off or anything. But if you're new to the channel and you like the content, you can click the subscribe button. Also, if you want to follow me anywhere else, contribute to Patreon, buy a t-shirt that says Lame Stop on it. Not that that's poking fun at anyone. You can find all of the links in the description box down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon, and stick around. I feel like it's not going to be very long before we see each other again.